Hi everyone, my name is Veronica. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful Valentine's Day cake. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and start by making our ganache. So here I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and then 2 cups of dark chocolate chips. So I'm going to go ahead and let my heavy whipping cream warm up, and once it comes to this stage, once it starts to bubble right before it starts boiling, go ahead and take it off your stove and pour it on top of your chocolate chips. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and just leave it alone for about 5 minutes to let the chocolate melt. Okay, so once your chocolate has melted, then all you have to do is just stir it until everything comes together and your chocolate is nice and silky. So I'll show you in just a moment what it looks like. So this is what your ganache should look like. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of Mexican vanilla blend. This is totally optional, but I do like the flavor that it gives it, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. So after that, go ahead and stir it another time and then cover it in plastic wrap and put it in your fridge for 30 minutes to cool. Alright, so while that's in the fridge, we're going to go ahead and work on our stencil. So here I have a stencil that I cut out using a machine that I have. So here I'm just going to go ahead and add about 1/4 teaspoon of Tylose powder. And just we're going to go ahead and knead it in. So going back to our stencil, if you don't have a cutting machine, what I would suggest you doing is going online and finding an image that you like and printing it out on cardstock. Cardstock is thicker than regular paper and it makes it much easier to cut and to be able to use it as a stencil. So if you want to do that and just cut it with regular scissors, just try to pick out an image that is not too detailed, because that'll be more difficult to do if you're cutting it with regular scissors. Okay, so here I'm just dusting my surface with cornstarch and just rolling out my fondant. And you can roll this out to about a little over 1/8 of an inch. And now we're going to go ahead and cut out our stencil. And I'm using this pen blade. I ordered this from Amazon and it works perfectly for this. What I like about this blade is that it doesn't stretch out your fondant, so it makes it easy to cut. And it keeps your image that you're cutting pretty much just how it looks like on the stencil. And we're going to go ahead and cut 2 of these. Okay, so once you're done with cutting out your 2 silhouettes, if you want to go ahead and trim off any extra pieces that may be there, go ahead and do this at this point. And then after that, go ahead and set them to the side to let them dry. So next, we're going to go ahead and roll out some red fondant that I already added Tylose powder to. So here I have a heart-shaped fondant cutter and then 2 floral wires. Okay, so go ahead and roll that out to the same thickness as the black fondant. And then just go ahead and start cutting out your hearts. I'm also going to need smaller hearts. I don't have a fondant cutter for those, so I'm just going to use an edible marker and draw them on here. And then I'll be cutting this out with my pen blade. So just draw as many as you need. So once you cut out all your hearts, we're going to go ahead and grab our floral wire. And we're going to grab a little bit of water and just dab some on your heart. So just a little bit of water. And then press that floral wire on the heart. And then grab another heart and put that right over it. And then just fix it with using your fingers just to shape it again if you need to. And then here I'm just going to leave a space and then add another one. But this one I'm going to go ahead and just tilt it a little bit. You pretty much can do it any way you want. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 of the bigger hearts and then 2 of the tiny hearts. And then go ahead and do that to both of the wires. So once you're done making these, go ahead and set them to the side to dry. So here I have a skewer that I cut in half. I'm just making sure that it's gonna fit on there. If you have any excess, if they're uneven, then you can always go ahead and cut the excess off. And here I'm just brushing it with a little bit of water. And then go ahead and apply your skewers, just lightly press them. And then put the silhouette over it. And then just give it a light press. And I do have some excess, so I'm gonna go ahead and just trim that off. So once you're done with this, go ahead and you can set it to the side, and then we'll continue on with the next step. So here I have a cold bowl and a cold whisk. I'm gonna go ahead and whip my whip topping here. This one's called Bettercream. It's made by Riches. You can also order these online, but I bought this at my local Gordon food service store. I'll go ahead and leave the description of this down in the description box. So if in case you want to order it, you can. So go ahead and let this whip for about 6 to 10 minutes until you get soft peaks. So I did whip this for about 8 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. It looks like it's ready now. So I'm just going to make sure and check it for soft peaks, which it is. So this is what it should look like. Okay, so now it's time to start building our cake. So here I have the ganache that I let cool. So it should be at this consistency. It should be spreadable. It shouldn't be too stiff, otherwise you won't be able to spread it on your cake. If you end up leaving it longer in your fridge by accident, you can always heat it up in the microwave. Just put it in a microwave safe bowl and just heat it up for like 10 seconds at a time, stirring in between each time until you get to this consistency. So go ahead and just fill your cakes with the ganache and then just stack them. So just keep doing the same step until you get all the way to the top. So next, when you're done stacking your last cake, then go ahead and just press on it to make sure that it's nice and even. And then after that, we're going to crumb coat our cake using some ganache. So once you've applied the ganache all over the cake, then go ahead and smooth it out with a bench scraper. So just smooth it out as best as you can. And if you see any gaps, then go ahead and just fill those in. So once that's nice and smooth, go ahead and put it in your fridge for about 15 minutes. So once you take your cake out of the fridge, if you touch it, the ganache shouldn't come off on your finger. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pipe some of this whipped cream all over the cake, and then I'm going to be smoothing this out. So once you've covered your cake in the whipped topping, go ahead and grab a piping bag with Wilton tip number 70. We're going to go ahead and pipe this. This is a leaf tip. So we're going to pipe these leaves all over the cake, all around. So you're going to start at the bottom not touching the board and not touching the cake. So you're just gonna let the icing adhere to the cake on its own. All you have to do is press and then slightly press and then work your way up, just like I'm doing here. Work your way up, and then all you have to do is pull at the top. So after you're done with that, next we're gonna make some flowers, and here I have a flower nail with some wax paper that I cut into squares, and I have here tip number 103, and I have some whipped topping that I colored red. Okay, so go ahead and start with your base of the rose, and then we're just gonna wrap a petal around it, and that's all we're gonna do is gonna keep wrapping the petals, and I'm doing this a total of 5 times. And this is more like a ribbon rose. Okay, and just apply it on your cake, wherever you think looks nice. Okay, now go ahead and do another one for you here. Just make sure you clean your tip every time you start a new one. So here I have a total of 6 roses, and now I'm just gonna pipe a stem with some green frosting. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do some rosebuds. So I'm just moving you up closer so you can see how I do this. So using the same tip for the roses, which is Wilton tip 103. So here we're just going to do the same on the other side. So now I'm going to be piping some leaves, and I have Wilton tip number 352. So just go ahead and apply your leaves wherever you think that they're going to look nice. Alright, so I ended up adding another rose on the side there of the cake. So that's optional if you want to do that. If you want to add more roses on the bottom, you can. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and apply our silhouette that we made. So just apply that wherever it's going to look nice on the top there of the cake. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and insert the hearts that we made. And go ahead and put them behind the silhouette. And here I've bent my wire just a little bit. So you can pretty much adjust those however you like. So once you're done and happy with the placement of your hearts, we're going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the icing to the bottom there where the wires are inserted into the cake. So just go ahead and add a dollop there on each one, just to kind of help it stay secure in there. And that's it. Alright guys, so this is the end result of the cake. I really love how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. If you guys have any questions, any comments, please leave those down below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So until next time, and thank you for watching.